An explosion in
Broadcasting
South Texas
live
causes
from the
huge
University
fires.
of North
We'll
Texas,
explain how
this
it may
is
also
NTTV
impact
Nightly
local media.
News.
There are more toxic pesticides than ever in the produce you consume. What you can do to stay safe.
Tees campus. I've got a live report from one of the delivery sites.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Maddie Holston.
And I'm Annie Tomlin. Parts of South Texas are still in recovery mode after a powerful explosion at a major refinery. While it happened hundreds of miles away from North Texas, we may feel its effects soon.
The blast happened last night at a Valero facility in Port Arthur. Reports say a fire broke out at a diesel hydro treater, which resulted in what you see here. The explosion rocked the area and shook homes several miles away. Nearby residents were forced to shelter in place, but thankfully no one was injured. The refinery has been shut down as a precautionary measure. Valero has not yet said when they will reopen. But the impact of this explosion goes beyond Port Arthur. Experts believe it'll cause gas prices to rise here in North Texas and around the nation.
And that is bad news for drivers who are already paying big bucks to fill up their tanks. Now, the national average for a gallon of regular gas is $3.98. That's the highest it's been since 2022. The U.S. and Israeli war in Iran is the cause. The Iranians are blocking the main ocean route for oil tankers. Here in North Texas, gas prices are running slightly lower than the national average, but drivers in DFW are paying about $3.68 a gallon today. Between the oil tanker blockade, high demand, and the South Texas refinery fire, experts say even if oil prices per barrel were to drop, it would take weeks before you could see any relief at the gas pump.
Now, Americans have been hoping for some relief when their income tax refunds come in later this year. President Trump has promised we would get more money in our pockets.
But the war in Iran would wipe out a lot of our refunds. Ivan Rodriguez has a closer look at the financial consequences of the war.
As of March 13th, the average refund amount for individual filers was $3,623, up from $3,271 about a year ago, according to the IRS. That's a nearly 11% increase.
If you are falling into a specific category like a senior who is getting an additional tax benefit or tax deduction, you may be seeing larger refunds because, again, that's a nice boost. The no tax on tips, no tax on overtime.
While many Americans are looking forward to the extra money, the war with Iran is making gasoline more expensive. Gas prices have soared to nearly $4 nationwide, according to AAA, up almost $1 from February 28th when the U.S.-Israeli conflict with Iran began. Those gas price hikes are fueled by the effective closing of the Strait of Hormuz that cut off 20% of the world's oil supply and sent oil prices skyrocketing.
It's going to be a tricky situation for a lot of people, especially anybody who might have, mentally started to plan for where this money's going to go. There will be other downstream impacts of higher prices for diesel, shipping costs, airplane tickets. Those are all going up.
Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at online price tracker GasBuddy, says he expects high gas prices to continue into the summer, even if the war ends.
It's going to be a snail's pace for as long as this continues to stretch out, because it will take much more time for markets to globally mend and for them to resupply themselves. So the sticker shock may continue, though there could be relief if it does improve.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Maddie, do you remember when we were hanging out at the pool the other day?
I loved it, but I'm curious where that weather went.
That's what I'm wondering too. It wasn't as warm as I wanted it to be this weekend. But our weather anchor, Alex Martinez, is in the studio. Alex, why was today not warm enough for us?
Well, Annie, I don't know about warm enough for you, but it has been quite warm enough for me. As you can see here, the current conditions we are experiencing are 83. It's overall quite a beautiful day, and it will continue to be similar conditions throughout the week. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're going to talk about what's going to happen later tonight. Now, as the sun starts to go down and we start cooling down for the night's conditions, it's going to be about 72 all around, 8-mile-per-hour wind, all around a really nice cool evening. And as we continue to cool down into the early morning, it's going to be about 64 in total. It's going to be a really nice, cooler, earlier morning as it continues to heat up throughout the day. That's all for me right now, but stick around for the Wednesday weather breakdown. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Alex. One of the great things about spring is all of the great fresh fruits and vegetables that are coming onto the market. It all seems so fresh and healthy, but there is a problem that could be becoming a real threat, and that is all the pesticide residue sitting on that fresh food. Spinach, grapes, strawberries, peaches, apples, blueberries, and even potatoes are all on the list of food contaminated with pesticides. The latest report from the Environmental Working Group, a watchdog agency, says for the first time, so-called forever chemicals are showing up on our food. Those are considered chemicals that take years to break down, and they stay in our bodies and the environment as potentially dangerous to our health. So how can you help protect yourself? First, wash all of your produce. Scrub the harder foods like carrots, cucumbers, and potatoes. Before you peel fruit or vegetables, wash them in warm water so you don't transfer pesticides from the skin onto the raw food. And remove outer layers of cabbage and lettuce, then rinse the remainder in cool water.
If you're looking for a way to get your produce completely free of pesticides, I know the perfect place. An event at the UNT Community Garden just starting to sprout up. Our anchor Christina Orozco is there now. Christina, what can you tell us is going on?
Thank y'all. I'm here at the UNT Community Garden for Garden Weekday Work Days, where it's held right behind Crumley Hall every Tuesday from 4 to 6. It's open for volunteers to come and get their hands dirty, and it doesn't matter what gardening experience you have, it's open for all. And I'm here with one of the volunteers, Lono. Hi, Lono. I'm just curious, why do you come here for the weekly work days?
Well, I have, all my classes where I'm kind of stuck just sitting for the bulk of the day, and then you go home and I love getting outside, and it's a good way for me to have something regular so I don't get that cabin fever and can get fresh air. And I did gardening with my family as a kid, but then moving around, wasn't able to do it as much. And it's
Awesome. Well, breath of fresh air. It's great to get within the community. And if you guys are interested in events here at the Garden Center, you can check out the Instagram page, Grow Mean Green, for more information. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get started too. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Christina. Coming up, a new legal fight is causing some confusions as we get closer to the November election.
And would you like to have groceries flown in right to you here on campus? We'll show you how to do it ahead.
We're NTTV's longest running Spanish entertainment show, and we're all about culture, creativity, and community in Spanish. Vámonos.
Welcome back to Late Night at North Texas. Late Night at North Texas. Late Night at North Texas.
World with peace and joy.
Tell me, Diva, what's the tea?
My Nisha drag is dumb.
The spirits have guided you to me.
I warned them that this was dangerous, but did they listen? No!
I've been having these dreams.
Welcome in.
This is part of the process, Eric. I only want what is best for you.
You want me to go on and on with the program until there's nothing left of me.
We are one now. Our goals are the same.
No, they're not.
Voters nationwide are waiting for the Supreme Court to decide on a case that could shake up the November midterm elections.
And closer to home, a new Texas law is facing public pushback. NTTV's George Swilota has the story on this week's Political Pulse.
Thanks, guys. The Republican National Committee and Libertarian Party are suing to overturn a Mississippi election law allowing a grace period for mail-in ballots that arrive after Election Day. The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments in the case yesterday. The justice's decision will impact 14 states that have grace periods for mail-in votes. Typically, the Supreme Court holds off on handing down decisions that can disrupt upcoming elections, but if the court rules against these grace periods, November's elections face a shakeup. Many election materials are printed well in advance, and some officials worry they won't have the budget to adjust information on flyers and ballots if the court strikes down the grace periods. Absentee ballots have been a target of President Trump since his 2020 election loss, which he partially blames mail-in votes for. The court's ruling is expected to come down by the start of the summer. Here in Texas, cities are now taking action after Governor Abbott's push to remove certain crosswalk designs he classes as political messaging. Last year, Abbott called the crosswalks distracting to drivers, and he warned that cities could lose state funding if they don't remove them. Yesterday, the city of Dallas started removing more than 30 crosswalks, including several with rainbow colors and the Black Lives Matter crosswalk in Fair Park. All the affected areas are expected to be brought into compliance by the end of April. The crosswalks were originally funded through more than $100,000 in donations through the North Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce Foundation. The city of Dallas is now looking for other ways to recognize neighborhood identity through public art. There are 3 community sessions scheduled for next month. As tension continues, Dallas police arrested a man before dawn this morning after catching him trying to repaint the rainbow crosswalk in the Oaklawn neighborhood. And school districts across Texas are also facing a set of difficult decisions regarding recent allegations against civil rights leader Cesar Chavez. Our live reporter Cameron Shields has the story. Cameron?
Well, George, the effects of the new Cesar Chavez allegations are having impacts further down the line, as schools in Denton ISD, along with school districts across Texas, are having to make changes. The Texas Education Agency has decided to remove any mentions of the revolution leader from Texas classrooms. After the recent allegations of sexual assault, not only have lessons been changed, but schools have been told to cancel or, quote, redirect, end quote, any plans for Cesar Chavez Day. This is an interesting change, as Chavez had very strong ties to Texas, helping farm workers conduct strikes and leading rallies across the state. There are also multiple grades where students used to learn about Chavez in social studies classes. The Texas Education Code says that teachers cannot be compelled to discuss, quote, a widely debated and currently controversial issue of public policy or social affairs, end quote. Austin school districts are pivoting. They're celebrating Dolores Huerta on the March 31st holiday, who co-founded the United Farm Workers and was a victim of Chavez. Houston schools, on the other hand, have renamed Cesar Chavez Day to Farm Workers Day. As this continues to shake out, it should serve as a reminder to constantly be curious about history and its impacts on the future. With NTTV, I'm Cameron Shields.
Thanks, Cameron. Across North Texas, empty classrooms are becoming the norm. That's because more and more teachers are leaving the profession. Now, one district is working to turn that around. NTTV's Katie Muncie has a look at how schools are working to improve teacher satisfaction.
Across North Texas, a growing number of teachers are leaving the classroom, and for some, that decision came sooner than expected. Brady Martinez is a senior at Texas Women's University.
I wanted to go into education because I just really had a liking for the idea of someone being more than just a teacher. For my own life, like I had an English teacher in high school who was very influential, not just in the classroom, but also in my day-to-day lifestyle.
However, after spending a year as an instructional aide at a local district, Brady, like many others, decided education wasn't for him.
We're even underappreciated when we're just trying to do our job. And so I've had many parents yell at me, think I'm lying to them, or just flat accuse me of being bad, or like just say I'm bad at my job. Like there's been so many situations. I've had to call the cops before on a parent.
And Brady's experience is not unique. In 2023, Ponder ISD lost 33% of its staff in just 1 year. Dr. James Hill took over as superintendent as the district faced one of the highest turnover rates in the area.
Over the past couple of years has been one of my biggest concerns. And when I first got here, we had a very high turnover rate. And so I decided that we had to do something about that. So it became one of our biggest priorities to retain more of our teachers.
And now that 33% is at 18%. According to Dr. Hill, the improvement came after several changes: increased pay, a 4-day school week, and childcare options for teachers.
We're just trying to build a strong culture here where our teachers feel that cared for, valued. We want to make sure that their voice is heard, that they have input on major decisions, and so we've started several committees as well that we've asked for teacher input.
While Ponder ISD is starting to turn things around, teacher shortages still remain a major problem across the country. And for teachers like Brady, it's not a question about staying. It's whether to start at all.
Is not just limited to our area. A poll from the Charles Butt Foundation found 66% of teachers in Texas considered leaving their jobs in 2025.
Wow, that's really interesting. Reminds me of when I was in school. Thinking about all my teachers. Did you have fun?
I did, honestly. I think elementary school and middle school were probably my prime days.
Yeah, they felt like it was so sunny. When I walked outside today, I didn't feel the same way.
No, I felt the wind, Maddie, and you know this by now. I'm not a fan of the wind at all.
I know. Well, Alex Martinez is back with us. Alex, can you tell us if this wind is going to keep messing with us or not?
The wind is done. We're going to be experiencing a lot more warmer, almost close to summer conditions. As you can see here, the entirety of the DFW area is experiencing perfect 80 ranged conditions from 86 to 83 to 84. Like, it's all just wonderfully warm. I don't think a single bit of cool winds will be coming through anytime soon for right now, at least. Now, as we zoom out, that is a very similar story where it's going to be a lot more warmer as we look farther beyond the reaches of the DFW area. In Abilene, it's going to be 90. In El Paso, 92. Up north in Oklahoma City, as always, they're typically a little bit cooler than us around this time. It's going to be 79 up there. Down in Houston and in Austin, so we're going to be 80 and 81. Altogether, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful conditions. And now, even as we move into the week, we can see here that we're having a very similar. The only real thing that I think is of note is going to be this weekend. On Friday and Saturday, we're going to be experiencing 64, 68. Those are going to be our highs for the weekend, so it'll be a nice, cool weekend to enjoy a day out for the park or a day out at the pool. That's all for me for this weather breakdown. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks, Alex. Transportation is a large business, but the roads they drive on are even bigger. And how are they getting paid for? Take a look at the details on what the city of Denton spends the most money on.
This road is cash, and the city of Denton is spending it. From 2023 to 2031, the city of Denton will spend over $1 billion in taxpayer money and bonds the residents vote for in order to expand the roads. City managers like Seth Garcia are in charge of the projects within Denton.
With all the new development comes the need to increase capacity or take roadways from 2 lanes to 4 lanes or 6 lanes to be able to move people throughout the city better.
Some of the projects Garcia has been working on include popular roads like Bonnie Bray, Oak, and Welch Street. These streets are just 3 of 99 projects in progress. The funding from these projects comes from a culmination of bond programs and tax dollars amounting to $23.4 million for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
We're a growing city, and so the more we can add roadways and create a road network that brings people here, it's going to bring commercial developments, it's going to bring taxpayers.
2031. I think it'll take at least until 2045, 2040 situation. I've been in Texas for almost 20 years, and university has been under construction every day since then. It hasn't grown much, it's only gotten a little bit wider, but they tend to take their time when it comes to these kind of projects especially.
And it is taking a long time. The city of Denton reported only 50% of construction is currently in progress. But with goals of long-term infrastructure health, the impact now is more important, and some Denton residents still remember that.
Denton is a special place. The culture here stands apart. It is unique. It is not always the best, but it is unique.
Director Garcia says although it's causing traffic now, it will end up being beneficial for years to come. NTTV News, Maddie Holston.
We'll keep you updated on what's next for the city of Denton and the projects they continue to work on throughout the rest of this fiscal year. There's actually another option for that. NTTV's Isabel Smith is live at Joe Green Hall with a solution. Isabel?
Thanks, guys. I'm here outside the UNT Union where you can go and get yourself a tasty treat. But if you don't want to walk all the way over to the Union to get yourself that treat, very soon you can have things delivered straight to your door by drone. Zipline Drone Delivery is a service that has just expanded into Denton. Some of the places on UNT campus that it serves are Kerr and Joe Green Halls. And I was just there with the delivery service. Take a look.
Starting Thursday, Zipline Delivery Services is launching a service that takes quick deliveries to new heights.
Zipline is the world's largest commercial autonomous delivery network. So think about it as drone delivery. We're the most experienced. We've completed over 2 million commercial deliveries and flown over 125 million autonomous miles. That's the equivalent of driving every single road in the United States like 28 times.
And as for how the drone delivery works, well, that's something Zipline's customer support leader and spokesperson, Connor Wilkinson, can share.
Is that we've designed the system with two parts. So there's the main aircraft that stays way up high, hundreds of feet in the air while it's flying and then making the delivery. And then we have the delivery zip. This is where the actual package is inside. It'll set down, the doors on the bottom open, leaves the package, and then off it goes. All this happens in seconds, in a service that folks really are just loving. They're finding it so magical.
In the Denton area, customers can order products from their local Walmarts, but Wilkinson says that more stores and restaurants can soon be in the works.
Yeah, that's a great question. We have, dozens of partnerships. For example, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area alone, we work with folks like Crumble Cookies, Chipotle, and many other dining restaurants as well. Right now here in Denton, we're focusing on the Walmart launch, but certainly excited to be launching more in the future.
Denton residents can place orders through the Zipline app starting Thursday. For North Texas Television, I'm Isabel Smith.
And I just got some candy delivered by that drone earlier today, and let me tell you, it was one of the quickest and coolest ways I've ever gotten something delivered straight to me. That's all I have for you guys. Now, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Isabel. Those gummy clusters look really, really good. But coming up, an award ceremony held right here in Denton.
And it's still spring, but UNT football is already getting ready for the fall. We'll have your preview ahead.
Don't get your hopes up. Is that it? That's it.
Nothing can stop me now!
Yeah.
Maddie, can we talk about how beautiful the weather was this weekend? It almost felt like I was back in California.
Well, I don't know about California, but I know that it did feel good outside. Well, there's also something great happening outside. The Thin Line Festival is being held at a brunch in Anderson's, and they have an amazing patio.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I heard they had food, music, and artists from all over the country. NTTV's Amber Rapace was there and got to know some of these artists. Amber?
was the Oscars but Denton style, celebrating artists and creativity from across the country. I had the pleasure of attending the Thin Line Fest award ceremony brunch at Anderson's this past weekend. I got to see artists from film to music to photography be celebrated for their creative work. And I got a closer look at how this event is bringing the Denton community together. Thin Line Fest draws talent nationwide, but here at Anderson's, it has a local heartbeat.
So we love Thin Line because it brings together a whole smorgasbord of people here to Denton. We've got people across the United States, local. I just met a gentleman from Seattle. So bringing everybody here to Denton to showcase what a wonderful city we have is great.
The line may be for food, but the reason is the celebration of art.
So today we're doing a limited brunch. Next week we will start our full brunch. But we've got some quirky things. All of our biscuits are homemade. Now we're doing gluten-free so that we have gluten-free options for everybody.
Applause fills the patio as artists are recognized for their work.
We have Jared Ulrich with Pluck.
It really is like humbling because you realize despite all the noise, like you have an audience, and it's great to share that with people, and it's great to see such wonderful talent and the people that coordinate this festival appreciating that with me.
With new partner Lens Pro To Go, award-winning filmmakers receive credits.
And then the best feature is going to get $5,000 in Lens Pro To Go credit. The River Remembers, directed by Jordan River and produced by Noelani Augustine.
It feels really good to win Best Feature Documentary. It's a surreal moment. You know, I really feel the spirit of my ancestors. I feel my community, and I feel, you know, my people at home.
As Thin Line Fest comes to a close, it's a celebration and a day to remember at Anderson's. Next year marks 20 years of the Thin Line Fest, and potential artists like you can start submitting your work in August. If you want more details, make sure to follow Thin Line Fest on Facebook. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Amber. That reminds me, we had one of NTTV's alum, Micah Talley, actually be nominated in the Thin Line Festival for a single that she had.
Yeah, that's right. What was it? It was called Stolen.
Yeah.
Okay. That she totally reminds me of last fall.
Absolutely. And same with football.
You're right.
Yeah.
Speaking of football, I'm just thinking about Mean Green.
Yeah, I know. You know, Mean Green fans, I think we're going to see some big changes the next time that the team does take the field. But for now, our sports anchor, Gabby Pippins, is here to talk all about it. Gabby, what do you got for us?
That's right, guys. Coming up, I'll have a look at the start of UNT football in 2026, plus an update on last night's Mavs game. Stay with us. The Dallas Mavericks are on an unfortunate 4-game losing streak, their most recent being last night against the Golden State Warriors in an overtime thriller. Cooper Flagg showed up and played hard, dropping a whopping 30 points and 9 assists, but he also had 7 turnovers, and the Warriors found a way to score on every single one. The worst part, Dallas was hanging in close with Golden State, often just 1 or 2 possessions away from taking the lead. But a miss by Najee Marshall sent things to overtime, where careless Mavs fouls propelled Golden State to beat Dallas 137-131. This was also the Mavs' 12th straight loss at home, which is their worst streak since the miserable seasons of the 90s. And finally, spring football training began last Friday, marking the first training under UNT's new head coach, Neil Brown. Our sports anchor, Maria Gonzalez, got an inside look at the practice and how the team's new roster is beginning to gel. Take a look.
UNT's football team had their first spring practice on Friday, March 20th. With a new coaching staff and a big change in roster, they kicked it off.
Fun first day, exciting for me to get out here with this group, and it's been a good build-up. We had 9 weeks in our winter program, really focused on, we had gained some weight in some key position areas, we had to get stronger, and really trying to get this team connected and work on fundamentals. And then today was really our first opportunity to go out and practice and play the game of football, the reason why they're here. And a lot of energy, we've got good depth across the board. And so the spring, we're gonna have a lot of good competition. And we gotta learn how to practice a little better, but that'll come. So excited.
Oh man, first day was good, just a lot of energy. Everybody's excited to be out here, excited to get the opportunity to kind of mesh and see what this thing looks like when we put it all together. I think from day one, this was a day that was circled on the calendar and what it would look like, and I feel like in a lot of ways it exceeded expectations, and in a lot of ways it's just, you would look at it and say it's day one, and you would find a way to go back to the drawing board and fix the mistakes and get back to it, but the energy and the effort was just exactly where we wanted to be. So.
Coach Brown surely has bonded with the team, and the players express it.
It was great, to be honest, like being back here with Coach Brown. Like I was with him at West Virginia for 2 years, loved the staff, and like I was in Missouri, came here, I was like, why not be back with my guys?
I feel like we all have like the same impression of Coach Brown. From the day we met him, like really good dude, like you can tell he cares about us, he wants to put things in place for us to have success.
For NTTV News, I'm Maria Gonzalez.
Up next for Brown and Mean Green football team is practice, practice, and more practice. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Gabby. All right, so I know neither of us are from Texas, but do you think it's a common occurrence for a meteor to smash into someone's house?
I hope not, that's for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened in Houston over the weekend. NASA confirmed a 1-ton meteor caused an atmospheric frenzy that released the energy equivalent to 26 tons of TNT into the sky. Following were reports of fragments hitting a house.
The homeowner wants to contact NASA to confirm the authenticity of this cosmic event and to get her roof repaired. So hopefully we don't see any more of these meteors anytime soon.
I have no idea what I would do if a meteor came and smashed into my house.
I might keep it there for some decor. It's very unique, it doesn't
very
happen every
chic,
day. Exactly.
if you will. Thanks for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.